So I highly doubt it, but some of you may have noticed that I didn't upload last week Friday. And there's a very good reason for that. It's called... Yeah, school started back up and now I'm in high school, so with that being said, expect me to probably put a little bit less effort in my videos because I have school. But it's just a quick heads up. I'll still try to post every other Friday like usual, and I'll try to upload something next week to make up for missing last week. But I just want to let you know that that's why I was quote unquote gone. Yeah, expect less effort in videos and probably shorter ones. But now your feature presentation. So when I heard about the news of Fortnite having this live event on the 12th, I thought, wow, I should really make a good video to send this season off with a bang. Now I decided to not do that, instead make a somewhat rushed video talking about the new stuff Epic Games added to the season that can go in your inventory slot. All of the new weapons and items introduced in Chapter 2, Season 7. Reviewed. Did the title have to be that long? Yeah! All this video is gonna be is just me looking at the weapons and items and making hee-haw jokes while explaining the strengths and weaknesses of that item or gun. That's literally it. It's not gonna be like super in-depth. So all of the new weapons and items introduced in Chapter 2, Season 7. Reviewed. Did I have to do it again? No, but I wanted to waste his time, so I want you to think of birds. Now you might think, what do birds have to do with this video? They just fly around and make noises. Well, now I want you to think of a shotgun. Now what do these two things have in common? Well, obviously you shoot the birds with the shotgun. But now I want you imagining throwing away the shotgun in the trash because the railgun can do its job so much better. Starting off with probably the most hated gun that was introduced this season, the Railgun. No, not the Halo Railgun, the Fortnite Railgun. This thing was very divisive among fans, and it's all because of one simple issue. The dreaded problem that there's no scope when you aim down sights and instead projects a futuristic hologram to show where you're aiming at. But in all seriousness, it was the fact that you can shoot through walls. And not just wall, but multiple walls! Basically what you have here is almost a must-pick gun. The sniper rifle is super strong and without it, it feels like you're not on the same level as other people. Or it could be that I'm bad and the game just gives me a leg up, but whatever. This railgun is crazy, and if you have good aim, oh, you're probably gonna dominate. Just saying, it can't one-shot full shield and health to the head, so just be wary of that. But other than that, you should probably grab it, because if you're not, you are probably gonna die from a railgun instead. Next up is the Stark Industries rifle. Reskin, the Pulse Rifle. All I can say is that this gun is slow. I understand that the point of this gun is to give like a more precise and quote-unquote tactical feel. But holy guacamole, my aim is terrible! So that means that this gun means nothing to me. Whenever I see it on the ground when I'm playing normally, I'm like, wow, that's cool. But I don't want that. I would rather take a blue AK instead. Yes, I would rather take this piece of garbage than this piece of garbage. We're done talking about it. What? It's too short? Okay, fine, it has decent damage to the body and lot to the head. Now can we move on? Still too short? Okay, you can find this thing almost anywhere and it has 16 rounds in the magazine. Are you happy now? Now imagine this. What if you were to mix a railgun and an SMG? What will you get? You'll probably get the second fire version of the plasma gun from Doom Eternal. Or I mean, you can get this Kymera Ray Gun, I guess. The reason why I say if a railgun and an SMG had a child and it would be the Kymera Ray Gun is because it has the fire rate of an SMG and it has the laser beam accuracy of a ray gun. What? The ray gun? It has the fire rate of an SMG and has the laser beam accuracy of a railgun. And it also has infinite ammo. Yeah, actually, Thank God I can't shoot the walls like the railgun. That would have been game breaking. You can find these almost everywhere, and almost every IO guard has them around the map, and you can shoot up to very far with this thing. But it does do a measly like 6 damage when like you're far away, and maybe like 11 to the head if they're close. But this thing is pretty viable when it comes to ammo, because you don't need ammo for this thing. It already comes with apparently 1,000,000 bullets. Just make sure you don't overheat this thing and you should be good. You ever wanted to yeet a car at your enemies? Well, now you can! The GRAB-ITRON! Only 500 V-Bucks. Now in theory, this gun sounds pretty cool. Flinging enemies at your opponents, knocking them back, using it as movable cover? This sounds awesome! Until you realize that it takes like a while to grab an item and probably throw it at the enemy. Although if you are far away and you have time to aim and your object is light enough, this thing can be annoying to players. But that's all this thing really is, to be honest. Annoying. It doesn't throw objects far, it's not really viable in combat compared to other monstrosities there are. I'm looking at you, Railgun. It needs at least a speed buff to make this thing viable. But it is fun to play around and mess around with your buddies. But other than that, this thing's not really worth your inventory slot, if I'm being honest. Now you might look at this gun and think, what is this? Another Jolt reskin? Really, Nerf? Really? But no. This thing is actually the BFG from Doom Eternal that isn't on a cocaine binge. Yes, you heard me right. Just imagine the BFG but with a much slower pace and smaller radius of death. And it's not a radius of death, it's like a radius of tickling. But there's a reason why this thing is also called the anti-sweat gun. And that's because any builds in this radius are gone like if Thanos snapped his fingers. This thing is really useful to destroy buildings and people that are hiding and to scare them. And it also does some great damage and knockback to enemies, which makes it great to use against people who are running from the storm. But if there is one limitation to this jolt, that's going to be the ammo count. It only has 5 shots, and you can't get any more unless you replace the gun with another one. On one hand, this is great. If you get this gun on drop, you don't need to search ammo for it. It already has 5 shots right there. But on the other hand, you can't search ammo for it. There's only 5 shots, and once those 5 shots are up, you throw it away in the garbage can. It's a double-edged sword, but at the end of the day, this gun slaps. Literally. What do you get when you strip apart the Predator's armor and turn it into a weapon? You get the Recon Scanner. Now it's very simple to understand, and you shoot it from a grenade launcher style arc, and any enemies, chests, and ammo boxes caught in the vicinity are marked through walls for you and your entire team to see. Yes, it also has unlimited ammo, and that sounds kind of broken, but hear me out. It only holds 2 shots at a time, and once you shoot one, it recharges it back after 15 seconds. So the Recon Scanner kinda go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly. Or sleeping under the covers on a rainy day. It's just unbeatable. The only thing that can beat this is your bad aim. It's not a must pick, but if you could spare the slot, this might just get you a leg up in certain combat situations. One really cool thing Epic Games added was the ability to play prop hunt with more than 80 players. But here's a twist. You're the only one hiding as a prop in this big map. This is a very mixed bag for me because I hardly use it and I rarely feel like I need to blend in with the environment. But in those very specific situations when you're lucky, you can use this thing effectively. But like, who's gonna believe me that there's supposed to be a random cow there? Like, come on, who's gonna believe that? And speaking of cows, that nicely segues me into talking about the Inflata-bull, but it looks like a cow, so I'm gonna call it the cow bouncer. The cow bouncer is basically you inside a giant sock and bopper, but you can bounce really well. This is great for traversing around the map and using the terrain to your advantage. You can get some serious velocity with this thing. It does replace your back bling and has limited time before it deflates though. And also if you get shot, this thing automatically deflates, but doesn't delete yourself from its inventory like once you run out of oxygen or air. And instead goes on a cooldown instead. But other than that, it's actually pretty great. If you learn the physics right and use the terrain to your advantage, I'd really recommend you pick this one up. It might help you escape a battle. Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. If this video feels rushed, that's because it is. I'm writing the script during school, and I'm probably voicing it in the morning. But if you guys are watching this video all the way through, if you're here, I don't know, type in Borgor in the comments. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. Like the video, comment the video, just interact with the video, please. And I hope we catch you guys next time. Goodbye.